our son's first steps. And he wasn't here when he said Daddy. Before he left, he said Mommy.
Beyond the yellow deployed, their loved ones left behind well wishes on this banner. Things like thanks to our heroes and keep the faith. So for now, a lot of the equipment here at the Armory sits idle. That is about 2/3 of the men and women who normally serve here are now serving overseas. Over 150 from this unit alone are in Iraq, as the Army is relying more and more on the Guard for manpower.
When they sign up to join the Guard, especially in the past 10 years, they know that, there's that opportunity that you're going to get deployed. You're going to get put into harm's way.
What harm's way means was drilled home back in August, when 5 Pennsylvania Guard troops were killed in a roadside bombing. Jennifer Batchy says her husband, Sergeant Rick Batchy, got to know many of the Guardsmen killed in that attack.
I don't want the boys to see me cry and upset, so I hold it in.
With every attack, she became more worried. Since the deployment over a year ago, Jennifer has been left to raise 2.5-year-old Bryce and 4-year-old Brady on her own. She was pregnant with Brock at the time Rick was sent over. He's now 13 months old.
My oldest son, he has a rough time, mainly when he goes to bed at night, because his dad routinely put him to bed, did things like that with him. And so it's usually, I miss my daddy.
Treasure.
For all the stress on Jennifer and the boys, she's counting the days until her husband returns home. And until then, she takes each day as it comes.
It's something that I have to do. It's something that I'm sure you yourself would do if you were in the situation. Same with any neighbor that I have, any friend or family member that I have. You just have to do what you have to do.
And when they do, Kathy Kovac says she has a surprise for her husband. Tickets for his favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Coming up.
Well, coming up in sports, we've got the latest on the Birds and their plans for kicker David Akers. Plus, the home opener for the Flyers, it started out strong. How would it end? The pictures from the center with Peter Forsberg when we come back in CN8 Sports.
Night Beat with Barry Nolan, weeknights 11:30 Eastern on CN8.
Your CN8 headlines tonight. Philadelphia police say Wallace Moody was abducted at gunpoint today. Moody was friends with Sam Derry III, whose body was found burning in an alley yesterday. Derry is also the stepfather of rapper Beanie Siegel. Authorities, however, have not confirmed the connection of those two crimes.
The Cariello family is back together again after 8 months of turmoil. Commander Cariello spent almost a year in Iraq, while his wife, Vicki, was forced to evacuate from their home in Mississippi after it was destroyed by Hurricane Katrina. The couple and their family are now living in Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
And Philadelphians are flying high now that the Flyers have returned to the rink, but the outcome wasn't what they expected tonight. The Flyers are taking on the New York Rangers at the Wachovia Center, and it was a welcome return after last year's season was canceled due to a lockout. Welcome back to the second half hour of CN8 News at 10 tonight. I'm Arthur Fennell.
And I'm Kevin Walsh. Thanks for joining us. Tests are underway to figure out if extra weight on board a tour boat in Lake George, New York, led to that deadly weekend accident. Investigators are shifting weight around on a boat similar to the Ethan Allen today. 20 elderly tourists were killed on Sunday when the boat flipped over. Meantime, New York Governor George Pataki and safety officials are pushing for tougher rules to protect passengers.
The tragic loss of life in this accident could have been prevented by simply requiring the use of personal flotation devices by the passengers that were aboard.
As you can see from video coming up here, right inside that door there, several life vests on board were left inside, meaning they were not on the passengers. The boat, the Ethan Allen, is now being held in an airport hangar.
There is a disturbing story out of Claremont, Florida, where school district officials there have removed a substitute teacher following an incident with a student. The student's insulin pump began to beep, and the teacher removed it thinking it was a cell phone. We have this report.
He didn't ask me what it was. He just grabbed it. So as he pulls it, I go, ow, that hurt.
Then he goes, give it to me. Then he pulls it again, and I go, no, it's for diabetes, leave it alone. And he goes, no, it's not.
Clifton Hossam says his substitute teacher was yanking on his insulin pump because he thought it was a cell phone, and he'd heard it beeping. Cliff says he tried to explain. Even the class chimed in that Cliff is a diabetic, but he says Richard Malin kept pulling on the pump, which was connected to a catheter in Cliff's leg.
And when he pulled it, this front piece came off, just like that, and ripped right off. I go, do you believe me now?
The least you could have done was, hear my son out and believe him.
Cliff's parents say the substitute teacher should...
For the Flyers, my good news is that they were back on the ice. Season's open.
And the good news is there are 81 more games. The bad news is the season opener didn't go so well.
Well said, guys. But it was great to see him back there. You have to admit, great to see them skating back there at the Wachovia Center. No doubt about it. It has been too long without hockey in this town, but that did end tonight in front of a sold-out crowd, all dressed in orange at the center. Flyers taking on the Rangers with some new rules and some new faces. And this is one face Flyer fans have been waiting for. Peter Forsberg lacing up for his Philly debut, and he would make an impact early. Flyers down 1-0 when Forsberg finds Simone Gagne. What a pass. He's going to have a big year. Tied at 1 just like that. Flyers lead at 2-1 in the second when we get a look into the future. Watch this. This is rookie Mike Richards. His first NHL goal. First of many, I'm sure. Flyers rolling 3-1. I told you about the new rules changes. Means we're going to see more of these. Rangers, Michael Nylander.